Let's get it in. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? So, the market did exactly what we thought it would do. Pretty much nothing for 4 days. We got our ups, we got our downs, we got our bottoms picks, we got our we got in and out. And I did all this stuff while I was on vacation with pre-set up trades. So, where are we at now? I haven't looked at this market. Literally, I've only looked at Bitcoin today so far, and I haven't looked at anything really in depth for 5 days. So, I'm going to show you today how I cycle through coins. We're going to look for trade setups on a high time frame. We're not going to be looking for intraday trading. So you're not going to be going in and out of trades through the stream, but you will be finding trade setups, and I will be giving you guys what I'll be looking for and what I'll be entering in on based off of the technical analysis and why I'm still bearish. And I'm going to share with you some new data analytics that we made. We made some new stuff. War, my boy, he's going to be on here, one of the team members at Coach K. He's going to bring his experience on-chain data, and every Tuesday and Thursday he'll be on my show. So he'll be coming on, giving you guys a new take on-chain metrics and data, which I think a lot of you guys have been asking for anyways. So this is a really good time to do it. Now let's see who's here. Welcome everybody. Mina Protocol coming out tomorrow. Yep. Good to see me. Great to see all you guys. How is everyone doing? I had a little bit of a couple days off, so I feel fresh and ready to go and look at these charts with a new set of eyes. You know, everyone was overly emotional, I found, for the week. Now it's time for us to get back to what we were doing before, which is trading. This is what we do well. This is what we do. So, hi, Coach. Bought Matic at $1.56 on Saturday. Not bad, not bad. And Matic's been really, really bullish lately, and I expect that to continue. Why? Because cheaper and faster equals better for most people. And we saw that with BSC, but BSC people don't feel it's decentralized, including myself. It isn't decentralized. It's completely centralized. It does have its own issues, similar to ETH. And Matic seems to be a little bit better. Polygon seems to have got their stuff together. So that's really a good thing. But let's look at the charts. What are we seeing? So here's what I generally do. I make a list. So right now we call this the banter list because when I was doing lives, it's just easier to have a nice organized list of coins that I like to trade, that I'm looking at, or that I was. This is an old list. This is not a new one. So these coins are not all relevant unless they're in this blockchains. Legacy is just our regular traditional markets. And these are the ones that I was keeping my eye on. Injective now doesn't need to stay there. So really, these are what I was looking at before. I'm generally not looking at many alts right now. I'm generally not going to be looking at very many alts right now, and that is because if Bitcoin goes on a run, alts are going to get crashed even harder. So right now we're not looking to trade too many alts. We are looking for bargains, and that's what we're doing today. So you're here today to see how to find trade setups. I'm also going to share other alpha as well with you, but really this is the goal. Let me see what you guys think. Also, if there's coins that you guys would like me to look at, don't throw them in until I'm like, yo guys, tell me some coins, because otherwise I'll miss them and you'll never get them answered. Let's see what we got here. So LCX is STO is coming on tokenized diamonds. What do I think? I think STOs in general are just way too early, and right now it's not the time to do them. That's the truth. That's what I've been saying for a while. Definity, that VC that dumped, heard it was Lotus Capital. So I heard that there's a lot of stories, so I don't really know exactly what happened, but basically people were supposed to get tokens, I believe, or something like that. There was a huge issue with Occam, and there was FUD, and I think a lot of that caused a lot of their downfall. And then something with VC funds dumping happened. I don't really know the whole story, to be completely transparent with you guys. Definity basically launched while I was on vacation. So I was trying to figure out what's going on. Haven't got the whole story. So if any of you guys have the story, or at least pieces of the puzzle I'm missing, let me know. Okay, let's jump first into Bitcoin, because I think this is the most important like out of everything right here. We have to look at Bitcoin, because as much as everyone wanted to believe that Bitcoin would not drag the whole market down with it, well, reality check for a lot of you guys. I'm going to share some stuff today about Bitcoin and on-chain metrics. We're also going to start doing Ethereum on-chain metrics. I'm going to show you a few things like, number one, who is buying, who is selling, how long have those people bought or held for, which types of wallets are active, if there are new wallets being created, if those wallets are adding Bitcoin. So we're looking at the metrics to basically go with, yes, people are buying the dip. But are they? Is the question that you probably should be asking. Who is buying the dip, and for how long have they bought the dip for? Are they taking profit? These are really important things. So I'll get through all these, but first let's go to Bitcoin. Let me show you my analysis of this. Okay, so Bitcoin, we have a 4-hour chart open. We talked about this the other day on the live stream, how I thought it was going to reject here, and I literally said we should be short at 40K. So I was short at 40K. I aimed for my levels, which were lower. You guys know where they are, which was about, I think it was 35.5 or so, and we flipped when it hit that Tenkin. Now, Tenkin moved, so obviously you don't see it, but the shoulder we were looking for, the Tenkin that I was looking for, was right around here where it actually reversed and went back up. And then the profit take area we could see was right on this level at 37,280 because it kept coming and running up into it, not being able to break it. So this is what about the time where we're moving up that I said, hey, we should probably move our stops into profit. We did. It came, it rejected, came back down. We stopped in profit or stopped broke even, depending on who was setting their trades up. Now, what do we see? Now we see a 4-hour chart that's busted again. We see a bearish Chiku. We see a bearish TK cross that happened right here. We're below the cloud, and even the cloud is starting to extend further downwards. What does that mean? It means that we're likely to continue in a sideways trend. And, you know, a lot of people are not talking about this. They're talking full bull, full bear. But we might do this for a little while before we start to break back up. It might be a holding pattern where whales start to accumulate. This is what we would call an accumulation pattern, okay? And if this happens for Bitcoin, this would be a good bull case for Bitcoin, for it to go to an accumulation here. And if the Wyckoff theory that everyone talks about actually played out, after that happens, after it plays out and distributes down, we accumulate and then we go back up. So that's good. If Wyckoff did play out, that's a good thing. We should see it be on the other side of 45. But right now, I'm seeing this dropping. And if we don't hold this level right here, we're going to drop even lower. We're probably going to drop to this level around 36 too, and then we'll range in there potentially. But there's nothing that stops us right now from going and retesting this low way down at 30,000. And really, there's nothing stopping us from testing this low way down here at 28,900. So before we get all in the whole $17,000 scenario, because these are levels on my chart for years, right? I mean, it's been on my chart for years, okay? That $17,000 level held like a champ. So 17.5 is one level. 19,000 really is not a level. This is not a level because it's just the previous all-time high on Binance's chart. So as we can see, we look at all these. I'm just giving you my full analysis of what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. This is what I would like to see Bitcoin do if we're going to stay on the bullish side. Now the bearish side. What happens if we don't stay, we break this pattern and we don't actually, this doesn't happen, right? This is obviously another scenario where we break below and we start to drop lower. Where is the next level that we would drop to? Very likely right here, which would be retest of that low. Now, if we go even lower than that, now we have to look at where is their actual support. Well, to be completely honest, on the daily, this is super weak support right here at 26. And even this is not very strong support at 22.7. So there's nothing stopping us from flying right back down. So that's why I'm bearish. That's the bear case for Bitcoin. That's what's going on with BTC. This is what you need to look for. Should we be trading today? No. Today is a holiday. It's a bank holiday. It's Memorial Day in US. And honestly, trading on a day like today, it's not advisable. To be honest, we're looking for trade setups right now. Okay. Let me just look at some questions. Bitcoin 10 straight hourly candles. Yes. Yeah, that doesn't matter. This whole thing of, oh, we have so many of those that doesn't normally happen. That doesn't matter. This doesn't mean we're going to come and bounce back out of it. This could be just people taking profit and selling out who bought down here and thinking it's going to come back down there. That's likely what's happening right now. Okay, so that's the reality of the situation. Because we go on the 4 hour, it's just two candles. Like, you know, the hourly doesn't really count so much. On our 2 hour, we have 5 in a row, but we've had 5 in a row many times. Actually, we've had even more than that in a row. So these are things where you start telling yourself stuff that you think would make sense. It really doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't. Stop trying to make narratives. The narrative is we're bearish. Look for bearish trade setups. So right now on the daily, we don't really have a bearish trade setup. We see that we're getting more bearish. We see that we have a flat Kijun, and we will pull up towards that level at some point, but it could stay flat all the way until June, like the end of June. So I'm looking at the Tenkin though, dumping even further, and it's getting further away from the Kijun, which is worse, which means we're even more bearish. It's going to continue down bearish, but it hasn't happened yet. It's a predicted. So the prediction is in the next few days, we're going to dump more. That's predictive. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we see the green. If this green Tenkin drops down here, that's a huge C-clamp that will be created very likely, and we'll eventually get back up there, but it's just not looking bullish at all. Even the 21 EMA is down. It's pointed down. It's not flat. So don't be bullish here. Don't be. You'd be stupidly bullish right now if you were bullish, okay? And then even here on the 4 hour, there's nothing on a bullish trade setup. So my primary, my daily chart, and my secondary, I can't trade them on Bitcoin. So we don't trade them right now, okay? That's the actual answer of what you should be trying to understand is there's times to trade and there's times not to. This is not a time to trade. Okay, so here, let's look at Ethereum. Because Ethereum and Bitcoin, they play in together. But actually, let me show you some on-chain data about what's going on. So here's what I'm showing you right here in the back. I'm just going to blow this up a little bit bigger so that all you guys can see it. Okay, what this is showing you, the wallets on the far here, let's just do it like this. So you see new hands down here. This is people that have held for less than a year or less. These are the people that are in the bright colors, okay? The people that are in the middle, the orange color, they have people that are held for over 1 year to 2 years, wallet holders, okay? What's their spending activity? And then the last one on the far right is the whales, the people who've held for 2 years more plus. What do the whales do when retail are buying? When new hands buy, they're selling. They're selling, they're selling, they're selling, they're selling, they're selling, right? What have they been doing recently? Well, I'm going to show you some new things because this isn't really a strong indication of either. The only strong indication was that retail bought heavily here, and while they were buying, at the same day, that whales and wallet holders of a year plus had been selling. Then we've seen a couple flip-flops. Right here, we saw whales buying for those 2 days, and what you saw is the price went up while they were buying, and now they've started to sell for a couple days. And retail are now buying today. As of yesterday, retail were buying. Retail were buying while whales were selling. What happened to the price? Let's go back to Bitcoin just real quick. Yeah, retail were buying while whales were selling. Let's go on the hourly as you guys like. So let's look at here. Retail were buying as the whales were selling, and what's the next move on the chart? The chart starts to dump. So those retail people that bought yesterday are now at a loss. All these people are at a loss, right? They sold. They're done. These people bought the day before, right? The whales. And then they sold the next day as the price went up. And now the price is going back down. So what are we seeing here? What's this data telling me? Well, let's see what's going on. So the question is how much people sold in a loss or sold in profit? This is the question, right? Because if you look at this chart, you can see who was selling in profit and who was selling at a loss, panic selling. So the orange or the pink, whatever you want to call it, is people taking profit. This was me on the 10th of May going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, we need to take profit. And I was taking profit for a full week before this started to become negative and really bad. Now what's happening is people are still selling at a loss until yesterday. The whales took profit. So people are selling at a loss still from the 16th, 15th of May. People have been on average selling at a loss. Until that flips, until we see retail market come back, this doesn't help us. Another thing that we're looking at is how many new wallets are being created daily so that we know that actually new people are coming in the crypto market. What is the chart showing us right here? It is showing me that, yeah, while there is some spikes, since this dump happened, we have literally seen the market dump out from the wallet creation inside as well. There's less and less wallets being created, less and less interest from retail. Do you think the market comes back when retail are not interested in crypto? Then we also see new wallet buying and selling behavior. New wallets that were created generally were buying pretty heavily until the 16th, 17th of May, and then they started selling very heavily, the new wallets. Then they bought that one day, and then they started selling heavily. And what did they do yesterday, thinking that it was the bottom of the dip? They bought again. And you know what you're probably going to see in a few days? This flip back to negative for those new wallets. So we're looking at all these metrics. These are data. This is not technicals that give me even more like conviction that I am right, that we are in a bear market, that the market is bearish, that the market will not be not bearish until we're on the other side of this cloud, which is a far way away at this point. And that's the reality of our market right now. FBTC. Okay, well, we're going to look at ETH as well, the same types of metrics. I want you guys to tell me what you think about the ETH and Bitcoin metrics. Do you like seeing the ETH metrics I showed you guys here on ETH versus Bitcoin? Why is it important for ETH or Solana or other blockchains to see, are people still filtering into new blockchains? Because let's say we see all of those chains, the wallets drop off, people start selling, people don't create new wallets, new money doesn't come in. What does that tell you? We're in a bear market. What does that tell you? We're probably staying in one for a while. If the global financial markets do something that becomes like Bitcoin was, like crypto was, and it dumps down really heavily here and goes on the other side of this cloud, not very likely, but if that happens, guys, Bitcoin will not be able to survive that either. There's no way. I mean, it's not going to die, but it's not going to be able to survive that very easily at all. We still have this massive channel, right? Like an ascending triangle, which at one point will break down. And when it does break down finally, we're going to this level right here. We're going to the other side of the cloud. It's going to come up. We're all just waiting for years and years to when that actually happens, but it will at some point because all these markets are overly extended. So that also fits a little bit into my analysis on a fundamental side on Bitcoin. But Ethereum is what I'm also looking at right now. And on Ethereum, we are getting more and more bearish every single day. That's the truth. We're getting more bearish on Ethereum because Ethereum is not giving us bull signs at all. It's holding. It's just barely holding, but it's bearish. We have a Chiku, bearish. We're almost inside the cloud. If we broke in the inside the cloud and this does create that TK cross that's bearish right here, if that crosses over and we get that green going down, ETH is going to go to the other side of the cloud and ETH is going to go mega bearish to all the way down probably to this level right around here, around 1400 to 1200. That is super bearish though, but that would be the range I'd be looking to pick it up. Really, I know it sounds sick, but it's true. I'd be looking to pick it up around there. And the first level I'd look to retest would be around 17. Sounds scary, but the reason why I've been saying to take profit is this doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look good. The only thing that's holding Ethereum up right now is this 100 EMA, which it's not really doing, and the Kumo top. If it breaks in here, we're going on the other side. This is not a good situation for Ethereum, and we have the 21 hooking down. So let's look at our counter trend. So if we're bearish, how do we look for a bullish trade setup? Well, I'm looking at ETH right here. I want this to hook back up. Without ETH, I think, honestly, to be straight up, we're not going to break out of a pattern in this range for a while. It's going to be a couple more weeks. We need to see a Kumo bottom flatten out, which means the bottom of this cloud needs to kind of turn flat as the top is flat. And then we need to break into the cloud and then break out and go on the other side for us to stay bullish. That's the freaking thing that we have. So what's better trades right now? We should be looking for bearish trades. We should be looking for rejections on bearish trades. Ethereum, rule of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections off of the 21 EMA. Now we are short off of that. That could be one of your trade setups. But again, the cloud, when it's like this, we usually slide it. It's not looking good, Ethereum, guys. Not looking good. I know I want to tell you guys all the beautiful, amazing things in the world to tell you right now about Ethereum and Bitcoin. There's nothing to tell you unless you're a bear with me. If you're a bear with me, we're looking to go short. That's what we're doing right now. So where do we go short on Ethereum? We are going to wait for a couple things to happen. When we see that this green, this 10 can cross below, and this candle, if this candle closes, if the body closes in the cloud, it's not really a good short setup, but I would probably take a very easy short right here. If it closes just barely in the cloud, I would put just above the candle open of this one. So it's a very, very low risk trade. And we'd be going for like a 2.5R just to come retest this level down here. And then we would slide our trail. So as it comes down, if it looks like it's going to continue, we would then just move our stop loss into profit. And we would trail it. Okay, and if you don't know how to do that, it's okay if you stop out there and you're good and you hit your stop or you hit your take profit, that's fine too. But that's what I'd be looking for right now, and that's not even a really good trade setup, so I wouldn't even take it, to be really honest with you. I wouldn't take that one. So let's look at BTC pairs. Maybe they have something. Well, what I'm seeing is a bearish C-clamp opportunity here, right? So we've rejected the Tenkin, we've rejected the 21 EMA, right? And now I'm thinking, you know what, we're probably not going to do that again. We're probably not coming back up there. So I'm going to put a stop, really nice tight stop loss. But I think it's very likely that we come to this level, or this, which now is almost the Kijinsen. So this is probably going to be an opportunity to get into this trade. So I'm going to put my stop a little bit above, maybe even, actually I'm going to put my stop above at the top of this candle before that one. So it's really tight. If it doesn't work, doesn't work. But it's a good 3.75R trade. And even if you want to be not so greedy and just go a little bit lower, maybe to the bottom of this candle, we can still take a 3.25R trade. So that is a trade setup right now. We don't have the volume. It's just, there's nothing there that tells me this will go back up. Looking on the 4 hour for ETH, same thing. We're just not in a real, nothing looks tradable like today. It doesn't look good. Anyone else feel the same way as me right now? Because I just don't see a lot of opportunities today. Atom. All these charts look exactly the same. Look, Atom, ADA, AVAX, BNB, Luna, Strax, Sharing. Like almost every chart looks identical. KSM, DOT. You guys are looking at this with me right now, right? So when I look at DOT, right, if we lose this level right here, guys, look at this. Let me show you something about DOT. This is why Trader XO and myself, we get along really well, because him and I see very similar stuff in the charts. And what I'm seeing right now, where do you see strong? Do you see anything that would represent like a really strong level here other than that, which really isn't? That's 15 bucks. We lose this level right now, we're going to $15. Almost guaranteed if we break below there, we're going to actually go straight to $15. That's almost a guarantee. It's like very, very, very likely to happen. And if we go to $15 and that doesn't hold, well, there's nothing stopping it from even going all the way as low as here at 8 bucks. And really, I mean, there's just not that much support. So you have to be careful with DOT. I love DOT. I think it has a long way to go. But I'm cautious. I'm very cautious. You see on the 4 hour, we got a lot more support there. But after that, there's no real strong support. So we got to be really on point about this and be really honest with ourselves and go, okay, maybe we're not in a really good market condition right now, right? Let me see some questions. I've been talking a lot, my bad. All right, let's get to some of your questions, your card starters, aka ADA system. ADA ecosystem is doing amazingly. Look at where they're at right now based off when the dump happened. They're way up. They were at $1 when I was telling people on Banter, and ADA has been crushing along. Let me get your questions though, guys. Throw them in the comments down in there. Throw a couple of trades. If you guys have trades that you think are good and you want me to give you compliments, let me know. Also, what I'd love for you to do, throw in at the bottom of the chart, the chat here, throw in a couple of your trades that you want me to look at. Coach, hope you had a nice holiday. Holidays were great. Do you do your positions live? Yes, I do positions live, but I don't go and enter them on the exchange and stuff because of OPSEC. But everything else, yes. If I tell you guys, hey, I'm going into this trade here, I go into that trade there. Everyone in my group would tell you that. You messed around with some shorts, you got stopped out a couple times. That's okay. Guys, right now we're in a whipping pattern because we're on the weekend and it's a long weekend holiday. It's a whipping pattern. The whales do whatever they want. There's low volume right now. Look at the volume in the market. You can see this even on DOT. The volume is super low. So when the volume's low like this, they can play around with the market very easily. They can push it up. They can push it down. Same with a low liquidity coin on Uniswap. If you go to a low liquid coin on Uniswap and you buy an Ethereum worth, you have huge amounts of slippage, meaning you pay extra because basically there's no tokens, right? So you're paying extra because there's no liquidity, so you actually lose money by buying something without the liquidity there, or you never gain money. You always lose. You lose tokens or you lose money, right? So that's a bad thing. And it's good as well because you could pump a price very easily on low liquidity as much as you could dump it. So why do you think you keep seeing us go up 1,000, 2,000, down 2,000, up 2,000, down 2,000? We're doing this on a regular basis. For what reason? That's what I'm talking about. So yes, Joe, we buy at 15, we buy more at 8. Absolutely. Mina Protocol, I think it's a really, really interesting project. Revolutionary to be seen. I want to see this tech. Everyone always talks about, oh, it's groundbreaking technology, or oh, it's gonna do this, it's gonna change the world, it's gonna, there's always like these keywords that they used to use back in the day. But really the fact is this: once they come out, they still have to do what they said they're gonna do, and there's a lot that they have to prove for themselves as well. Luna, okay, so Luna is pretty wrecked, and honestly, Do Kwon didn't really do much to help give some, support to his peoples, because he was like, yeah, you guys should sell it if you want to, or you should do this if you want to. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna, yeah. But I was like, man, you should never, like, he said, okay, when the price went up this high, when people sold Luna, they had to sell Luna to make, they have like a very similar ecosystem to like RSR, where one coin burns another. One gun gets burned. It's like Frax. Actually, Frax is a very similar system. It's easy to explain. So you burn your FXS for Frax token, which is a stable coin. Well, if people go back and forth, obviously the fluctuation in the price will happen of the major currencies. With Luna, because of the market dumping, they had to sell a lot of Luna to be able to offset that. And then there's obviously liquidations and all this other stuff that was a problem. But it worked the way it was supposed to. But the problem is it worked so well that, it wrecked the price. So that being said, most people didn't buy Luna at $4. So the people bitching are the ones who bought at the top. And honestly, that's generally how it always works. Because all the people down here were buying, they don't give a crap that it's here. They're way up. They're buying at 40 cents. So it's perspective. It's perspective. A lot of people say they're wrecked, but they're only wrecked because of that. Oh, what's up, Troy? Oh, super chat. Cool, man. Thank you very much for the donation. Can you please give Tia on sharing? Absolutely. So sharing is abso-freaking-lutely wrecked. Truth be told. Truth be told. On a chart, let me just clean this chart up. It's wrecked. So I'll just redo this whole thing here. Let me just redo this. Let me get rid of some of these levels here, and let's have a look. So right now, this is an SR level, what we're at. And guys, just because I said sharing's wrecked doesn't mean I haven't sold any. I have not sold any of my sharing. None of it. Because I think this project is a long-term thing. Do I wish that I had taken profit on sharing when it was like 10 cents? Yes. Yes, I do. But at the same time, I believe in the team and the vision. And so I'm just going to be patient. If I'm wrong, it'll be one of the ones that I'm wrong on. But, I mean, we're buying this at under a cent, so we're okay. Now, or at 1.2 cents, sorry. So now we're coming back. We see these levels have held. This one's held really strongly in the past, so is this one. This is an SR level, so it's either acted as support or resistance in the past. Right now, it's showing that it acted as a level that will hold so far. Now, if this bounces, we need, obviously not the weekend, we need some real buying to happen here for anything to really, really do anything. And I think if we did get some buying and break above this level, around 2.5 cents, 2.4 cents, we'll start to get towards 3 again. But I'm not enthusiastic on anything other than that until we see the market as a whole start to recover, because we could also range in here, breakout range in here, and if we do see bullish momentum come back, range and start going to the next level. But we have to wait. I'll leave that on my chart for now. Actually, we'll come back to it at some point. Yes, disruptive. Thank you. Twat Mauer. Moaner. I can't read. Okay. Don't go and clip it. Now I already know people are going to go and clip this out and make Floyd Mayweather jokes and memes about me. They'll be like, yeah, I can't read. So, I don't know how to short. I'm new. How do you short a market? Guys, if you go into Binance, okay, and you go to Binance Futures, there's actually a video I've done how to short on Binance. If you go into my description, make sure that you like, subscribe, you know, do all that stuff as you guys know to do. But go into the video folders that I have, the how-to video folders, and you'll be able to find how-to videos, how to MetaMask, how to use Uniswap, how to pretty much do all the basics. So go and use those resources that I've made for you. So I see a lot of people want some FXF. You know what? I love FXF at this level. And all these people are like, no, coach, man. Why? Why you talk about FXF all the time? Why don't you like it so much? It never goes up anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone wants to just bitch, whine, and complain. But I'll tell you what, you really should be looking at here. So here we see FXF, right? And we see a project that, here, let me give you some facts first. Partnered with Crypto.com, partnered with Huobi, partnered with OKX, partnered with Coinbase, partnered with Binance. Who the hell are they not partnered with? They are partnered with everyone. This will be the most liquid asset. Like, you will not be able to get Bitcoin without spread, without the issues that you do on any other platform anywhere else. You will not be able to buy $500 million of Bitcoin anywhere else very easily over the course of a week. But on Phoenix, though, you will have all the liquidity at your fingertips of every single major exchange in the whole entire industry. And on top of that, some of their liquidity providers are also connected in, like B2C2 and LMAX. So if you understand why FXF is bullish, yeah, the price in the chart's not so bullish, but no one's getting any new tokens. It's not one of these pre-sales where every month someone's getting more tokens. It's pretty much out here, and they haven't really full on launched yet. So there's a lot coming. When I look at projects like FXF, this one on a chart perspective, I'm not longing here. But I will long if it goes and breaks the low. If we break 20 cents, I will definitely put in a $50,000 long or just buy it. Okay. And that's based off of FA. That's based off of who their partners are, who they're talking to, who they're connected with. I mean, not all you can see that. So I understand why there's skeptical people out there. But looks crazy. Now, ShopX. What can I say? You want to know what happened with ShopX? You guys are not going to like the actual answer. Retail fucked it. That's the truth. The retail people screwed this project because those same people that saw their first 100x all sold their first 100x. And then when it came down to here, they thought it might keep going, so they sold all their other tokens. And then they got their next release, and then they sold all their other tokens, and then it became a race to the bottom because there were no funds. There were no big funds that were going to hold regardless of the price of the token, regardless of the market, because they believe in the project and what they're actually doing. No, everyone was there for a quick buck. Everyone was there to make quick money. Everyone was there forgetting what the hell they actually do and the solutions they provide. Everyone was in it for themselves. And that is why ShopX is where it's at. The only positive thing is that there's almost no liquidity and there's no volume. So it can't go very much lower. That's the only thing that's positive right now. But on the fundamental side, from not a technical perspective, all the other stuff that they were doing, it stays the same. And all the people that dumped out, they've dumped now. So they've got rid of all their tokens and they've done their due diligence or whatever they needed to do. So now it's time for it to go back up. All right, questions. So many questions. Oh my goodness. FOMO Freddy, I put a buy order in at $5. All right, good man, good man. Do you like Occam? I don't like Occam Fi. I think they're unprofessional. I don't like the way they dealt with the whole Definity thing. They threatened them basically and told them that they have to pay them $50,000 and stuff. Like, not professional, man. I don't know the team myself, but hearing stuff like that, being basically blackmailed to do something or will do something else, that doesn't bode well with me ever. Never, ever, ever. Injective is on a downtrend. So, you know, I mean, we're not really looking to get into Injective at this point, but we can. So here we go. Injective, bearish. Looks like Bitcoin. Very similar chart. Nothing looks good about it at all. People played off of the Mark Cuban hype and all that stuff, but that doesn't help the price of the token go up when everyone's selling because they're scared. It does also not help that there's so many seed people that got in seed that were selling tokens. They got their tokens, so they could sell them if they want to. It's every right that they have. But this looks ultra bearish. Go on the 4 hour, it looks ultra bearish. Go on the daily, it looks ultra bearish. So right now we're in this place. Okay, we're below the cloud. We've retested on a bearish side. We have a bearish TK cross right here. We're bearish. Everything's bearish. Honestly, Binance is probably a good short right here. Okay, and I would short it right down to these lows from before. So very likely after this stream is over, I am going to short Binance coin with my stop just a little bit into the cloud. Okay, and I'm going to put my take profit at this level, number 1. That'll be my, sorry, not this one, sorry. Right down here, we go, sorry. If you want to take profit on the way down, what you would do is as this starts to go, so this is a trading, some knowledge about how to trade, guys. So one thing I've talked about in the past was like, how do I actually trail my trades? You have to actively do this. You can't be lazy. You can't be like, oh, the price is over here now, I'm going to put my stop loss at break even, because it's likely the price will just whip you back out and you'll break even and you'll make no money. It's pointless. So we have to slowly move levels down. So if we broke this level right here, and we're now on the opposite side and it closes, meaning this candle is closed like this one, it's finished and it's on to the next candle, then I would go, okay, I'm going to move this down. This stop loss, I'm now going to move it to here, maybe right around there, because now we're on the other side of this level, which is an SR level. So it's likely that it will stay on the other side of that level, but I don't want to risk it getting like a mini wick and getting knocked out of the trade, right? So now I've moved my stop. We're starting to get into profit. When we get to this 200 EMA, it might bounce off of that level, right? Because 200 EMA is a pretty strong level. It's kind of flat. So what I would be doing is as it gets down to that level, very likely I would have my break even be after it crossed and went below the 200 EMA. So kind of, you see how it crossed below the cloud and then it retested it here, this wick. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for, a candle to close below here, like the candle close, come back up and test, and then go lower. So then I would be looking to do this, to move my active stop over here into a profitable level just above the 200 EMA. And then as it keeps going down to the next level, we just slowly do that. And that is how you actively manage. Now, if you're someone who's busy and you can't do that, there's nothing wrong with just leaving your trade. Why? I'll give you a really good example why. If you put $100 of risk in this trade and you do nothing, if it stops out, you lose $100. If it hits your take profit at the bottom down there, right here, we make $336 profit. If I don't touch it at all, it's all good. If I move my stop loss, right, up, it doesn't matter, because if I still stop out, I still lose my $100, right? But actively managing it means that when you get into a profitable trade, now it's in profit, that we now are taking profit, or at least moving our stop, so that if we did have the right idea, that it stops and we make some money. So you never want to like stop out at break even and then the trade goes, and that's generally how it works. You stop out at break even, it whips you out over here, and then it goes down and it goes exactly the way you thought. So make sure that you give some leeway. And remember, having a large stop loss doesn't change your risk. It just changes how much money you put into the trade. Keep that in mind. It's very important to know this. All right, let's see some questions. All right, lots of stuff. Split, please. We did split. ShopX is sick. Look, and there's another one coming called Ally. That's another one that you should keep your eyes on, because they actually do something that DoorDash does in Canada, but they're doing it with NFTs. Very interesting project. Not going to shill new coins though, because that's not why you're here. ERN and Rune. Okay, so ERN, it did have a really nice recovery off the bottom that it had. We can see that there are a few metrics that I'm looking at. Okay, with Eternity, I'm looking at a couple things like, is it bottomed out? Okay, right now I'm pretty confident in saying that this looks like it's bottomed out. It's pretty bottomed out. Okay, so what are we looking for next? We're waiting. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for one major event. We're waiting for Binance NFTs to start. I truly believe, so do many of the other, clued in influencers, that will lead, not right away, probably take a couple months, but will lead into the next NFT 2.0 season. That's what I think will come. And I think Eternity will be a big part of NFT 2.0 season, because we all know, as much as CZ doesn't follow me anymore on Twitter, But as much as that is going on, we all know that that's how he works. I know how CZ works because I've been calling his shots before he does them over and over again. Like my B-swap call before anyone even heard of anything like that. I was like, yo, I think there's B-swap. They're working on something like Uniswap. Hey, we've seen what happened there, right? Pancake swap. And so what I'm trying to get at is CZ doesn't do stuff. He's a trendsetter. He likes to be first. He was the first to do IEOs. How did they do? It was a bear market. They crushed, made it feel like the bear market was over. What do you think he's going to do with NFTs? Probably something very similar. Eternity, though, very bottomed out. Let's have a look on a shorter time frame to see if there's any trade set up here. We really just see like we have levels, right? And this is the levels that we can use to trade it. But right now, like I am not really looking for this yet. I'm looking today. Why are we here? To look for trade setups, not to look for trades to go into right now, because this is the holiday and it's not usually the right time to get into a trade. So we would be looking to get into that level in that zone, but I would like for us to retest maybe one more time because it's looking quite bearish. But if I came down now about $5.50, that zone might be a good area to long from right around down here with a stop loss. You know, you could do a pretty tight stop because if it loses that level, it likely will just do what this did. So we'll keep it pretty tight and have our aim to be to this level right here and have a 7.6R trade. So that's what we'd be looking for, man. We have a low, we have technically a higher low now set up. So let's see how that plays out for Eternity. Questions like Rune. I love Rune. Thorchain, honestly, the only reason I didn't buy in and start pushing it is because I missed the opportunity. That's really what it comes down to. I actually had a person that you guys all know on Banter way back in the day. I was in the pre-sale of Thorchain, and someone that you all know for some reason fudded it, maybe to get more, but fudded the project and then made me feel like, because it wasn't the best market that time, to not go in. This thing actually started around 1 cent, I believe. It's 1,000x. It almost hit 20,000x, 2,000x or something crazy. So it's a really good project. It's holding that 200 EMA really nicely, but what we can see on the daily, we're in the cloud. We have a potential bearish TK cross or parity with the Tenkin and the Kijin, which isn't great. We have a hook down 21 EMA, and we're in the cloud. The cloud is like a plane in turbulence. We don't want to trade in the cloud. We like to trade on one side or the other. So this is a holding pattern again, another one of them. And on the 4-hour, look, we see the same exact thing. The Kumo rejections, a Kumo top rejection with a 100-day rejection with a 200 EMA rejection. The rule of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th time it couldn't break through, it dumped it out, and now we're going all the way back down and barely holding the Kijin. So yeah, this looks probably like it's going to go sideways as well, or come back down to this low again at some point, which is a great opportunity. You should be mapping this out, guys. If you see that this is a low right here, you should be mapping those lows out because these are levels that will come back. So if you want to set a dip buy order right now and you don't know you don't know if it's going to come there, you don't have to care. If you have just capital, if you have cash sitting in your account right now that you don't plan to spend, you could, like I am going to do, put a $6 order in for Rune, right? And have it sit there for like a month. Maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. That's what you should be doing now, not trading actively. If you don't know how to intraday trade, you should not be trading right now. Because right now it's volatile and it hasn't really picked a decision, and it's the weekend, a long weekend. People aren't trading, so it's low volume. Bad setups for people that don't know how to trade. This is where the whales eat. They will eat and eat and eat. You guys are krill. They'll just open their huge mouth and they'll suck you all in and they'll eat you. That's basically what's happening to most of the retail guys right now. So let's make sure that we're smart. Bono's got a hedge fund. I like it. All right. Question. Hey, brother, are we in a short-term, long-term bear market? Great question, Ben. So my prognosis right now is no one can tell you either or. They can tell you either bearish or bullish. Why? Because I'll give you my... So you know why you've seen like Rand and people talk about this. And I told you that I am long-term macro bullish, but I'm bearish right now. People then started saying it a lot. A lot of people started copying what I was saying. I was like, what the hell? You haven't given any reason for that. So again, my reasoning is this. We're bearish because our daily chart is bearish. And there's all signs showing that we're going to continue being bearish. So that's why we're bearish. But on a weekly chart, when we open that up, we are seeing that that now actually is bearish too. Ooh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. One sec. Oh yeah. No, we're bearish on the weekly chart too now. So what I'm seeing here is very bad for Bitcoin. Very likely to come lower. We're likely to come lower. Okay. For some reason, my last time I looked at the weekly, it did not look as bad. This looks a lot worse. Why? Because we did actually close our weekly below the Kijun-sen. And if we don't hold the all-time high from past, this level from the past right here, and we can't break out and turn this into a C-clamp formation, which just basically is, you know, the Tenkan and the Kijun stay pretty flat. If it doesn't stay like that, oof. Bitcoin doesn't look good, man. Now you should be, if we close this week lower than this level, you should also be macro bearish. Yes, seriously. Personally, I think this could be a bull trap, though. That's a personal opinion of mine. I think this could be a bull trap. If they wanted to bull trap us, this would be the time to do it in the next couple weeks, to show it being bearish on the weekly. Like, technically, we're still bullish because we're above the cloud. But being below the Tenkan and the Kijun and bearishly rejecting it, even though we are technically bullish in all those weeklies, there's some signs of bearishness here. That's not good. Okay, just keep that in mind. When we look at ETH, we don't see that same situation. Look at weekly on ETH. This is something very interesting. So the weekly on ETH played out different. It played out completely different because it So here's what happened. We came down to the 21 EMA. Right? And we held it. It supported. And that was also this all-time high level for ETH from the past. Then we bounced it. We almost bounced all the way back to 2,900. Bounced it, came up, rejected. But guys, if you know this type of candlestick at the bottom of a downtrend, it might not be the bottom of a downtrend, but it's at the bottom of like on the downtrend. We know that this type of a candlestick could be a reversal. And we see it happening right off the 21 with like a tweezer type bottom scenario. And now we've broken above, and this weekly is now retesting on a bullish side for Ethereum on the weekly. So we have the reasons to be macro bullish, but we have reasons to be bearish right now on the daily chart. So we have to be midterm bearish. You have to. If you're not, you're stupid. Literally, you're an idiot. I know it sounds harsh. But like, there is nothing bullish. I don't care about fundamentals. Fundamentals mean nothing. In a bear market, I could tell you that Visa is now using Bitcoin every single day and the market will move not even anything, like 3-4%. That doesn't matter anymore. And that's the reality for all of us to accept. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay? Have to be realistic. Celsius always is going to be good. Celsius, Nexo, YLD, Blockbank, not so much anymore. And I'm an advisor there. Just they haven't got the traction yet. But YLD, Nexo, Celsius, these are places where you can throw your capital when you're not sure what's going on and earn on it. You can't do that in a bank. So go put your capital in places where you can earn something. If you shouldn't be trading right now and you're not sure, and you have Bitcoin, ETH, or USDT or something, and it's just sitting around, put it in something that you can earn 10% a year. Put it in YLD, earn 20% if you hold YLD. Like, do those things because they benefit you. They really benefit all of you. XRP, okay. Not a fan of XRP as a project, but as a chart, if it's a good chart, we'll look at it and we'll trade it. All right, so we can see that we've rejected the 100 EMA. It's kind of acting like as a dynamic flip-flop SR level. We had a bearish TK cross. We broke below the cloud. The daily cloud got retested, so that was the short right there that you should have gone for. So when we're looking and we're trading in the Ichimoku, we're looking for opportunities like where we have a bearish Chiku, where we have we're underneath the cloud, we're looking bearish, and we have a bearish TK cross. So what do we look for? That bearish TK cross happened right here. We would see the bounce, and then we would see the first, but then the tweezer rejection off of the Kumo bottom. So right there, we'd have bearish check mark, bearish retest check mark, a bearish Kumo twist check mark. We're underneath the cloud check mark. We have a lot of our check marks saying this is a good time to probably go short. Then we also see that we've come down to this 200 EMA before and it's bounced. So we likely would be aiming for that level to come to again. And basically then we would be out of that trade. So if you were in this trade, right, you'd be entering at that level right here, stopping out a little bit above into the cloud, really nice and tight. And you'd be aiming for somewhere around this 200 EMA. And that would be your trade setup. And you probably would have not got out of it if you aim for the 200 and not the actual level here. So as you can see, it came to this level from the past and it bounced. That's why we take profit in more than one level. And as you can see, that's a 6-hour trade, even if you took early profit. So you might have done that anyways. Okay. But that's a hypothetical setup. Now looking at XRP, I mean, it's a bearish retest now of the 100 EMA. This probably will come down lower again. This might even be an easy trade setup as well. But remember, we're looking on the daily. So we're going to go a little bit above this first candlestick right here, or maybe just a little bit above here. So we're above the 100. If it does break out, and then we aim to, if this is holding, probably going to come and wick to this level. So we'd be looking at an 18-hour trade here. Very tight stop off of this. So if it breaks above and goes, it's gone. But we have we have like this, you know, it's angled down our 21 EMA. So all these things are set up right now on XRP for potential short opportunity. And this is off the daily. So this might take a week or two to even play out. Then we go on to the 4-hour secondary chart. So we should look for counter trend. If we're looking for bearishness on the daily, our 4-hour should show us a bullish trade to go against the grain, right? But what we're seeing here, again, we have confluence of bearishness on both our primary and secondary charts, which are confirming that we are indeed bearish. Okay, we're bearish. Simple. Don't have to make it emotional at all. We just are. All right, I'm going to be here for like 5 more minutes. Going to take a couple more calls, guys. I know there's a lot that I could go over, but it's just so much. If ETH can decouple this year, I don't know. But Rand said the fundamentals. But look, Rand can say fundamentals, and so can anyone else. But guys, fundamentals do not mean that the market comes back. Fundamentals do not mean there's new money coming in. Fundamentals do not mean that people are buying shit coins again. That doesn't mean shit. That's the fact. The fact of the matter is as much as fundamentals can tell us Bitcoin should be going up, fundamentals were telling us Bitcoin should be going up the whole entire effing bear market as everyone built around it, as everyone built around ETH and built around blockchains. But what happened? The fundamentals did diddly effing squat. Why? Because there was no reason for people, no catalyst for people to go and pile money in. And until they have another catalyst, and until we see new wallets being added on a larger scale again, and until we see people buying actual Bitcoin and buying crypto again, all of the fundamentals don't mean dick. That's the truth. And I know I'm really harsh, and sometimes I say it maybe over the top, maybe too much. But you guys need to hear it, because too many people are opening your freaking mouths and shoving bullshit down your throat. And I mean bull-tarded bullshit. Because right now there's nothing bullish, not even on a secondary chart for a secondary bounce trade today. We're looking at all of these charts and we're not seeing these opportunities really. That should be your indicator. That should be your number one indicator. Screw the fundamentals. The fucking chart shows you the emotion of every person in the whole entire world at once. That's what the candles are telling you. So if the candles are telling you that everyone in the whole freaking world is bearish, you should be bearish. And the whales, if they're selling as well into that same bearishness, so should you. Stop trying to be a counter trend. That's how you lose money. Make it simple. If many of the big money wallets are doing something and you're not doing the same thing, you're probably going to lose money. Facts. So just keep it real, guys. I know I'm harsh sometimes, but God, you guys need it. We need you guys to hear the other side. Because look, I'll give you a scenario. Scenario 1, coach tells you take profit. You have $1 million for the first time in your life. You know that you have a lot of money there that if you leave in alts and you don't take profit, they're probably going to go down 50, 60, 70%. Or you have the same $1 million, you cash out $1 million, right? Now check this out. You still have $1 million. Who gives a shit if the coins keep going up and you were wrong? You still have $1 million. You can buy them back So you'll have a little bit less. You still have $1 million. Get that through your freaking head. It's so important to understand that. Because your coin goes down, you can't sell it for $1 million anymore. But if you took profit, even half of it, and now you have 500,000 and 500,000, and your profile goes in half, you still have 750,000, but now you have $500,000 waiting to buy cheap coins. And then you could start dollar cost averaging in slowly and surely, not all at once. 5 to 10% of what you want to put 100% in, you put in each time. And obviously, if you stick to that really simple, keep it simple strategy, you will make more money. Simple as that. It's all here. It's in your mind. It's mindset. It's thinking. It's planning. It's being ready. That's what today was for. To show you that nothing is ready yet. The market's not ready. We shouldn't be trying to, unless we're scalping it, we shouldn't really be looking for long-term trade setups yet. It's not ready. We need to wait. We need to wait. And we need to remain bearish until we are bullish. That's it. Keep that in your head. I guarantee and promise all of you, you will lose way less money. You will lose no money. You will actually start to make money. I want all of you to tell me your success stories. I've had a lot of people tell me theirs. They shouldn't be the only ones who tell me them though. I want to hear about everyone being able to be successful. But honestly, starts here. Don't let emotion cloud your judgment, guys. Seriously. All right, so let's be real. We are now going to start looking for short setups. That is what we're going to look for. And then when the market tells us we're getting bullish, it breaks into the cloud. We have a bullish TK cross. The Chiku span goes above the candles and we start seeing, oh, potentially we're going to break it. We're going to go and have a macro shift again and start to turn bullish. Then I'll tell you I'm bullish again. But until then, stop looking for me to flip-flop. I'm not. I'm bearish. And that's the way I'm going to stay. And unlike every one of the other influencers that you see out there, I'm not going to change my stance unless I'm sure. And I'm going to stick with it. So that's me. Keep it real 100% of the time. Okay, so can I tell my dollar cost averaging strategy is as simple as this, guys, before I leave. If I want to buy a coin, if I want to buy Bitcoin right now, but I want a dollar cost average, let's say about $100,000. I'm going to buy Bitcoin between $5,000 and $10,000 each time that I buy, not $100,000. Why? Because if we come into this $33,000 level, I'm going to buy 5,000. If we come to this level, I'm going to buy another 5,000. If we come down to this level, I'm going to double in. I'm going to put 10. Now my average buy is somewhere in this level. And if the price retraces and goes back up to 38, I can just take all my initial out. I can make that just be a short-term trade. I can make it be a long-term trade. That's the beauty of it. So dollar cost averaging, you may not always get 100%, but that doesn't matter. You end up on the right side of the trade. You end up with a lower and lower and lower average entry. And when the market reverses, so you're in a really good side of the coin. And that's where you want to be. But guys, I'm going to leave you here for today. Tomorrow, my video that we're recording will have my data analytics war. He's going to be on the video and he's going to explain the analytics to you guys a little bit more in detail. We're also looking at getting ETH as well to give you some more things that you can't find anywhere else. Nowhere else can you find what we're giving you. We're creating it. So hopefully you guys enjoy all that type of data and all the type of insights into the market. I'm going to be here tomorrow. If I see any trade setups, we'll be having them on the show tomorrow. But I want you guys to do me one favor and just keep a level head. Don't get too bullish or bearish. Right now is the time to stay level headed and wait for the market to tell us what direction it wants to go. Patience is your best friend. Use it and trust me, you'll thank me in a few months. I'm Coach K, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day.